Adventure Live. Tonight's topic is, let's get you set up here, is unpopular UTV opinions. So I already know that you guys, some of you guys might not agree with some of the topics that's going to come up tonight, but that's what this chat's all about because I've been around the block a time or two, and I know that not everybody believes the same thing, but I figured it's a good topic to maybe open up a conversation. So these are opinions, not facts. So if you disagree, that's kind of the point. Let's jump in here in the chat. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know whatever you think. If you're joining in live, I appreciate you following along. If this is something you're watching recorded, still jump in on the chat. I'll see it and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. So let's set the stage. I feel like the UTV world has evolved immensely over the years, and there's a lot of strong opinions out there, right? Sometimes we forget what got us excited about riding in the first place, and we kind of get wrapped up in our own opinions and our ideas. So tonight, I want to try to clear the air on some of that. I want to talk about a few things that people might think, but maybe you don't say out loud. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Unpopular opinion number one, and that is the brand wars, right? I've got my cheat sheet here. I've took some notes, but everybody knows Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Honda. Some people are very brand loyal. So I do have a poll going tonight. It's just a yes or no. Are you brand loyal? Yes or no? Get on there. I'm curious to see how many people really are hardcore brand loyal as opposed to I just want to ride. And if you followed the channel long enough, you probably know where I stand on that. I am definitely not brand loyal. Of course, I drive a Can-Am, love my Defender, but whatever gets you out there on the trail with us to have a good time, that's what the buggy I want to see you in. So anyways, Polaris, Can-Am, y'all. Can-Am. Yeah, see, I can't even say it. Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki. We argue about brands like we're getting sponsored by them, and we're not. Everybody knows that. They all have problems. There's no single best brand, I don't think, out there. Just my opinion. Like I say, every brand has its strengths. Every brand has its weaknesses. A lot of people talk about Polaris, and a lot of people love them. A lot of people hate them. Same with Can-Am. I feel like those two are the top talked about. I'm not saying they're the top brands. I'm saying they're the top ones that get brought up in conversation. Then you got Honda, Yamaha back there laying low. Like, well, you know, we might not be the ones with the most horsepower, or we might be the ones that you're not talking about every day, but we're back here on 20, 30,000 miles with no problems. So, I mean, what, you know what I mean? That's just kind of, then you got some of your, like CF Moto, which obviously needs to be thrown into the conversation anymore because they're an up and coming company in the UTV world, and seems like they make pretty awesome buggies too. So, and then Yamaha, can't forget about Yamaha. Got the R-Maxes. Even seen, I don't know if you guys have been watching King of the Hammers at all. I've been following along a little bit. Saw old Frankie J there yesterday from R3 put his X3 on the pole there in qualifying, which was awesome. But there was an R-Max, pretty much a factory R-Max out there at King of the Hammers running the course, which was pretty cool to see. So like I say, it doesn't matter what logo's on the front of your machine as long as you're out there having a blast. And it's it's putting a smile on your face, then what's that matter, right? Um, Anyways, half the time reliability comes down to how you ride, how you maintain it, and how honest about what you actually need out of the machine. Okay, so if you go get one off the showroom floor and take it and just absolutely destroy it, like I say, it doesn't matter what logo's on the front. These machines will give you the respect that you put into them for the most part. Obviously, some of them off the showroom floor have issues. It's just maybe a manufacturer defect, but I guess that comes down to whether the company stands behind that or not. And maybe sometimes if they don't, that leaves a little sour taste in our mouth. But let me know in the chat. Like I said, I got the poll going. You brand loyal, yes or no? Let me know what you think. If you're diehard Polaris, Can-Am, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, which I didn't even mention yet, Yamaha, whoever, let me know. So let's get into another unpopular opinion, is you don't need the biggest, baddest machine. Some people think that you have to have the cream of the crop. You got to pull up on the trail. Yours has to be the biggest, best, baddest out there. Well, somewhere along the way, the hobby has turned into a competition. Who has the biggest, best, tallest, most accessories? But here's the truth. You do not need the biggest, baddest, best out there to have a good time, right? That's not what we're out there for. We're out there for the community. We're out there to have a good time. Granted, hey, if you've got the biggest, baddest, congratulations to you. I mean, I love seeing built machines. I love walking around them things, and kudos for that. But I'm just saying, an unpopular opinion is if you don't have the biggest, best, baddest out there, you can't even take it on the trails. Well, that's not the case. The machine that you need is the one that starts every time you bump the key, right? Is the one that gets you out there on the trail, the one that gets you back to the trailer at the end of the day. You ain't towing that thing. And one that doesn't empty your wallet every time you jump in it, right? That is the biggest, best, baddest. I'm stumbling. Maybe I don't know. Let's get her sipper. Biggest, best, baddest machine, like I say, is the one that just gets you on the trail and gets you out there with your friends and family. There are plenty of people out there that are just, getting in what they can get in and getting out there and having a good time. And that's what it's all about. So let's move on to the next point I want to make. Number 3, more capability doesn't mean more fun. Just because a machine can do something doesn't mean you want to do it. So Can-Am, Mavar, Polaris, Pro XP, Kawasaki H2, just because they make a 200 horsepower rig that is absolutely awesome, well, that doesn't mean that that's the best rig out there for the trails you're going to ride, right? Big, better, bad, don't get me wrong, they're awesome machines, and kudos to them for making them. But what I question is, when they make those machines, does it drive the price point up of other machines, so it takes us normal blue collar everyday people that just want to get out there and ride, is it pushing the buggy prices up to maybe some price points that we don't need to be at? We don't want to take more people out of the industry. We want to bring more people in. So like I say, those buggies are bad, but when you're used to riding a 65, 72-inch machine down a trail, and then all of a sudden you got to make trails for 78 inches wide machines, and 200 horsepower. I mean, honestly, that is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I am all for the horsepower. I love it. I think it's cool. But where are we going to use in the trails that we ride here? I'm not talking about in the dunes or anything out west, but where are you going to get 200 plus horsepower out into the woods where you can actually open it up and use it for its full potential. To me, like I say, unpopular opinion probably, but to me, it's kind of a waste of money. I think I would rather get a lower horsepower machine, put my money into a more trail capable machine for where I ride, and maybe add a few accessories and still save a butt ton of money from what them things are going for. Like I say, unpopular opinion, that's our topic tonight. So sometimes the more that you spend even on those higher horsepower machines, it may not even go through the woods as good as a low horsepower machine. So you might be going through and you might be, every time you hit that gas, it might be wanting to go. Sometimes they load up, right? Because they're wanting to go. That's what they want. They want to hit the higher RPMs. That's their wheelhouse. That's where they run. And when you're kind of in trail situations to where you can't open it up, are you having to pay attention to the machine a little bit more and its feedback to even have a good time when you're out there riding, where as in maybe a Defender, an old low horsepower Defender, I'm just cruising, right? Just sitting there. I mean, now granted, we'll come to the hard sections and you're going to blow right up them in your high horsepower machines and you're whatever, but I know better than even to try to attempt some of that stuff in mine. So love them, just hoping that they are not driving the price point up for some more cost-effective machines. Is kind of what I'm getting at on that topic. So let's move on to the next unpopular opinion. Accessories are out of control, right? There's nothing wrong with mods. Love mods. I've actually got a few coming for the Defender here in the next probably few videos that we're going to turn some wrenches on her. We're going to change some stuff out. I love modifying this thing because you guys know, like when the weather is maybe not cooperating or your time schedule is not cooperating, if you're anything like me, I'm sitting around thinking, well, if I ain't riding it, I got to be doing something to it, right? Got to somehow make it bigger, better, badder, as we went over earlier. So do sometimes you put unnecessary accessories on your machine just because you're bored, right? Hey, I'm guilty. I am guilty. But some of them accessories do make it obviously a lot more comfortable, but do you really need the $5,000 stereo? I mean, I'm guilty. I got a sub underneath the seat of this thing, right? How many times has it been on? Not very often, especially when I'm usually recording anyway, so I don't want the music in the background for copyright issues or whatever. So even that little sound bar up there in the back, normally it doesn't get played a whole lot, which I like having the music option though when we're just out cruising and I'm not videoing or whatever. But if I was to put, a couple $1,000 stereo system in this thing, which you can do very easily, would the money really be worth it? I mean, yeah, you get a little overhyped, right? Can we lift this thing up, put portals on it, put her up on 37s, and make it look mean on the trailer? Absolutely. Is it worth it? My opinion, no. That's on you. But around here, just for looks, would I put all the money into lifting this thing up, putting portals on it, and the big paddle tires and all that, making it look good? No. So sometimes those accessories, we get caught kind of window shopping. We get excited. We see the stuff online and we're like, oh yeah, that looks awesome in the pictures. And then we go spend the thousands of dollars on it, slap it on our machine, and then we get it out in our trails or our woods and we're like, yeah, that was kind of a waste of money, right? Kind of takes me back to the thumbnail. If you clicked on the thumbnail because it caught your attention and all blinged out, right? Like, you don't need all that stuff. You just go have a good time in the woods. So Unpopular opinion maybe for some, but just my thoughts. So as we go on here, we got a couple more points I want to get to, but don't be afraid to drop some comments. I got the laptop set up, got the poll going. Looks like we had a couple people comment. Appreciate that. And don't look like brand loyalty is a big deal to them, which is good. But even if you're on here and you don't want to make a comment on the video, just jump in and say hi so I can see that this thing is working. Move on to, I got two more left, two more opinions. We'll jump on to the next one. And that one I scratched. So seat times matter more than horsepower. So this one's for all of us, right? Myself included. A lot of people focus on horsepower, turbo, non-turbo, top speed, dyno. What is this thing pushing? Some people first get into the industry and they think they've got to go out and buy the biggest, baddest, most fastest, most horsepower, because this is, I got more horsepower. Oh, okay, well, that's fine, but do you know what to do with it? Okay. Me, myself, if I'm getting in a buggy with someone, I would rather get in with the experienced rider in maybe an old Defender than I would somebody that just bought a brand new 250 horse H2 off the showroom floor that's never been in one before, right? These buggies take time to get used to. I don't care what one you're in. If you go from Defender to, I've been through Vikings, Rangers, Generals, Defender, Razors. When you jump in a different machine, it acts differently on the trail. And that's just the nature of the beast. So it doesn't matter if you go to that dealership and buy the biggest, fastest, most highest horsepower one out there. If you don't have the seat time, it ain't gonna go any better than this one. Unpopular opinion, I know, right? I get it, but I'm just saying, the more seat time you get in the machine, the better it's going to perform, no matter the horsepower. Knowing your machine, understanding the traction, picking the lines that you know that it'll make. I mean, there's places I take the Defender and I'm like, ain't no way. But if there's a bypass, I'm like, yeah, we can make that, right? Well, if you get a brand new machine and you don't have any experience and you're out there and you jump in it and you're like, this straight up and down, but this thing, the dealer told me it would make it. And you jump in there and you hit that thing wide open and then you tumble back down. Well, that's your own fault. Get the experience first, right? Get the seat time. Put in some time. Know how it feels. Feel it out. Everybody's buggy suspension acts different. Of course, the engine's going to act different. Get used to it. Feel it in your foot. All that good stuff. So last point that I want to make, right, is do you have to go out and buy that brand new machine? Or is used machines just as good, right? I feel like sometimes they get a bad reputation. They get the reputation that just because somebody has owned it before you, they've trashed it. They've been beat on, they're unreliable. But if you can find, and I've hit on this a few times before, Ben Brown, thank you for commenting. Glad to see somebody's joining in on the chat. If you can find a machine that you know has been taken care of, and you don't even have to know the owner. Like I said, I've talked about if it's been, skid plate ain't beat up, if the A-arms, bottom of the A-arms ain't all tore up, if the axles are good, if the bushings, A-arm bushings are tight, you pretty much, for diff fluid, all that good stuff, make sure everything's good and tight. Then a used machine can be a way better value. It's cheaper to purchase. Just like in the used car world, you're beating the dealership fees. When you go on to a dealership and buy something brand new, you're paying way more money just because it's new. It's got that new car smell, right? And also, you buy a used vehicle, you might feel a little bit stressed that less stressed on the trail. Like, if I get a scratch here and there, no big deal. It is what it is. And maybe you can have more fun while you're out there riding. But upgrades, as far as a used machine, the same as a new machine. There's all kind of them out there. My opinion, whatever gets you on the trail. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Doesn't matter, new, used, Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha, Honda, CF Moto, I don't care. I don't care if it's the biggest, baddest, fastest. Whatever gets you out there riding with us, because that's where we want to see y'all, right? We want to see you out there in the woods with us, and we want to have a good time. I'm winding this down here tonight, so do me a favor, jump in here on the chat. I will, looks like we're a little half and half, we're a little 50-50 on the brand loyalty. If you are brand loyal, please let me know why. I mean, I understand it, don't get me wrong. If you've always had good luck with them. Ben even jumped in here again. I personally prefer new, so I know what I have, but I've been looking at used and building it what I want. So let me elaborate on that a little bit, since I would probably buy new, because I'm with you, because you don't know what other people have done to the machine. I get that. However, if I've got to go buy a brand new machine and keep it stock for a long period of time, when I have a list of accessories that maybe I want to do to it, with a Defender, right? My Defender has doors, has the Inferno heater, has the cab. Right now, it has been single digits all week. It's snowing again. It's a hot mess here in Southeast Ohio. So if I would have brought a brand new Defender home, say this week, and I had the money to buy a brand new one, but yet it was a stock base model, because that's what I had the money for, it would be sitting here in the garage. I don't want that. I want to ride. So say I take the same amount of money, save $5,000-$8,000 on a used Defender that I've looked over, feel like it's a good buy, feel like it's been treated well, bring it home, slap on the windshields, the doors, and the heater, I'm out riding, and that's where I want to be. So it's kind of what the kids, I don't think the kids are doing it anymore, but it's kind of a 6-7, right? Or you never know. It just, everybody's situation is different. I get it, but that's where I would be at. If I could buy new, great, but if I can buy used and have a little bit more creature comforts that can get me on the trail, then that's the route I'm going. He tries to keep it brand loyal due to having the specialty tools to work on it. That's another great thing. Had all that stuff, had everything tear it apart, went to the general, got to buy new tools to work on it, right? Because every brand has to have special tools. Now, I will say though, I had the general, had the clutch tools for the general, had, whatever specialty tools I needed to work on it. When I went from the general to the Ranger, none of my general tools would work on my Polaris Ranger. Did not like that. Did not like the fact that I am working on a Polaris, so why are my tools that I put a couple $100 in not working on pretty much the same year model, and we're jumping from a general to a Ranger, not that big of a deal. Those tools didn't cross over, didn't really like that. Then of course when I went to the Can-Am, all new tools just to work on it. So I get where you're coming from that with that. And also with the accessories, that's a good point, is if you're, say, going from a Defender to a new Defender, well, not an HD11 because things are a little bit different, but if you was going from an HD10 to another HD10, then you could take some of this stuff off before you let it go, or before you trade it in, and it would swap over to your new one. So that's another good point that makes sense. Anyways, that's just kind of what I wanted to get into tonight, was a little bit of the unpopular opinions that sometimes come up in the UTV world, sometimes that we get out there arguing with buddies. It's all in good fun, but sometimes everybody's opinion is different. So I thought it would be a good topic to kind of open up the chat. So if you've been live with me, if you've been following along, I appreciate it. If you're watching this at a later point in time, do me a favor, keep dropping the comments, because I will get back to you. I try to answer all my comments. We're going to continue trying these Tuesdays lives at 5. Hopefully we can get some good chats, and I'll try to keep thinking of some good topics to where we can get going. It is, like I say, a little bit of a slower time of year right now for riding, not because I don't want to ride. I love winter riding, but it is a little bit harder with the trailer situation and everything, pulling the buggies to some of the parks that are a little bit farther away. You don't know about the road conditions and all that, but there is some awesome trail rides coming up real soon that we've got in the works, so stay tuned for that. Trying real hard to stick to our Tuesday lives at 5 ain't going nowhere. I want to do these regardless, because I enjoy interacting with you guys. But our Thursday, Sunday schedule, like I've said before, I try my hardest to get you guys the content out there, because hopefully the more that I put out there, the more we can engage. And that's my goal, is to make this something that you want to watch every episode. And I'm doing my best. Like I say, without the content, I know you guys love watching the riding content, and there is some awesome riding content coming up that might throw you for a little loop, and we are going to slap some different accessories on Yeller Fellers. So we do have some content coming up. So hopefully you guys keep watching, keep liking. Don't work on the lives, but keep liking, keep subscribing, and appreciate each and every one of you. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one.